Hello friends, welcome to another class of Viday. This video is brought to you by Exams Possible team of Viday. Exams Viday is non-profit initiative by the students of IIIT Kanchipuram to give free coaching and resources to students preparing for various national level competitive exams. So, our today's topic is non-verbal series. So friends, we will be covering two topics under non-verbal series. So first will be the introduction. So about what exactly is non-verbal series, we will see that with the help of example. And the second is various types of series where we will see some common series like different problems which are found in various competitive exams. So let's get started. So friends, before jumping to the technical definition of non-verbal reasoning here, for our simplicity, let's break down this word. So first of all, let's see what is verbal communication. In verbal communication, we make use of words to convey some message through writing or sort of like oral communication. So we make use of words in these two areas. So for an example, like now I am explaining you this topic with the help of various words. So this is known as verbal communication. Whereas when we take non-verbal communication into consideration, it is transmission of messages or signals via eye contact, facial expression, gesture, and posture. So understanding what is non-verbal communication, we can get back to our topic. So here, the technical definition is as follows. So non-verbal reasoning involves the ability to understand and analyze visual information and solve problems using visual reasoning. So let's take these examples here. So identifying relationships between figures, similarities and differences between shapes and patterns, recognizing visual sequences and relationships between objects, and remembering these. I guess like in our subsequent slides, this will be more clear. So how to identify these things. Without wasting any time, let's get started. So friends, before jumping and solving some problems, I'll introduce you an approach here. So what should be our approach whenever we see some problem? So I have simplified it in three steps. First of all, you have to observe it. Observe the problems, the figures given. Next, you have to analyze it. As described in our previous slide, you have to establish some connection, some relationship between the figures so that you can solve it. And after that, after analyzing it, you have to identify some pattern. So there might be some pattern which is followed in each and every figure. So once you figure out, you'll get your answer. So now let's get to our next topic, which is the types of series. So the first one here is completion of series. The examiner asks us to identify the next figure. Like few figures are given, we have to identify the pattern, and then using the same pattern we have to identify the next figure here. So the first thing, like first step, is to observe. So we have to observe properly and then analyze it. So while analyzing it, we can figure out that like with each block here, the number of lines are getting increased, right? So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now when examiner asks us to identify the next figure here, so this is quite sure that the next figure should have 6 lines in it, correct? So here like now before proceeding to our answer, we can come to our options here and we can use the elimination method. So wherever 6 lines are not present, we can eliminate that block. So A contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so we can eliminate this option. Then B contains 6, so B can be our answer. Okay, let's hold on for a while. Then C contains less number of lines, E contains less number of lines, so this is not our answer. Our answer is either B or D. Okay, so now after figuring out like number of lines are getting increased, now we have to check something like some other feature here which will give us our answer. So if you observe it properly and analyze it, then one more pattern is such that in first block our circle is at the top, but then when the second line is getting introduced, the circle is at bottom. In the third block, when one more line is getting introduced, whatever pattern was getting followed, the same pattern is followed, where first two lines have the same feature, and then the third line which is getting added, again it has the circle at the top. So in similar way for these last blocks, the lines are getting introduced, but in an inverted way the circles are getting added, right? So here it is at the top, bottom, top, bottom, top, and the sixth line which should be which will be introduced. So because in this block the circle is at the top, the next in the next block it should be at the bottom, correct? So now we have the only options B and D. So now we can get the answer by checking whether our circle is at the top or at the bottom. So now we need a circle at the bottom, correct? So D cannot be our answer. So our answer is B here. So now by checking two features, first the increasing number of lines and then checking the position of circle, we have identified that our answer is B. So in this way we have completed our series. So this was the first type and the most common one which we find in various exams. So in similar way you have to observe each and every figure properly, you have to analyze it, and then you have to identify the pattern in the sequence. So the same pattern, the same rule which is getting followed here, you can apply it to the next one, which is filling the blanks, which you have to fill it with some figure, correct? Okay, so now let's move on to our next type. So friends, after seeing the completion of series, we will be seeing the next type, so that is analogy. So now before checking the example, let's see what is the meaning of analogy. Alright, so analogy means similarity, that is having similar features or characteristics. This means like this was also seen in our previous example where the same rule was followed to identify the next figure in the sequence. But if you remember that it was same figure, like with the same figure we were seeing slight changes in the features, but here you'll be seeing that in the example which come up in next slide. But as the explanation is given here, two figures will be given, we have to identify some relationship between them. So some rule might be followed there. So applying the same rule, we have to figure out the answer for our next figure. So a pair would be given, we have to establish some relationship, we have to find what rule is followed, and then examiner gives some other figure, and for that other figure, applying the same rule, we have to find out what will be its pair. Okay, so I guess it will be more clear when we solve an example. So let's get to our example and see how analogy questions are to be solved. So friends, here comes the example for analogy. So if you can see, this is the difference if we compare it with completion of series. So this is the pair given, and we have to identify like what pattern, what rule is followed here, and that same rule we have to apply it here. So if you can see, this is not the sequence, like this figure is not getting repeated here, but instead this is some other figure. So whatever rule is followed here, we have to apply the same rule here. So let's get started with our three steps to observe, analyze, and identifying the pattern. So if ignoring this for a while, let's check this pair. Okay, so we see that there is one standing line and like half circle, and the arrow is pointing upwards. But if we see that in the second sequence, there is we have this straight line here, but instead now this semicircle is at the bottom, and then the arrow is pointing towards the left side. So actually, if you observe it carefully, we can term this as vertical inversion, where like it is inverted image of this one. So um, when we identify this, that this is the inverted image of this one, so the same thing we can follow it up here with these this figure which resembles steps. So how here the inversion was there, so the line was as it is, and this is the inverted one, so similar way we can follow it here. So if we want the inverted image here, and if you can observe it, if we need some inverted image of the stairs, this line, so this line should also be present here, and you can consider it as some kind of water reflection. We will also be seeing that example in our subsequent slides, but this will make your task more easier. So it is some sort of water reflection here. So if you can observe the first, let's hold first um, figure for a while. If you observe the second figure, this cannot be possible, because if this is the differentiating line and below is the water, this cannot be the starting point, so this gets eliminated. This can be an option, but here if you can see, the direction gets changed if we take into consideration C and third option here. So this should not be possible. The reflection always gives the same direction here. So third cannot be possible. Fourth and fifth, obviously it cannot be possible, because reflection should start with the point, like whatever figure is there. So here it starts with this horizontal line, so this cannot be possible. Okay, so therefore our answer is this first one. So if you can observe carefully, we have this standing line, here we have this standing line, then we have this sleeping line, here also there is a sleeping line, then the line gets upwards. So instead of getting upwards, it will come down, because we are in water reflection. So uh, that's what. So actually here the technical term given is vertical inversion. So this is the inverted image, vertically inverted image. So similar rule we are following it here. So for our pair, which consists of this C, our answer is first one. Okay. So in this way, you have to identify the pattern here in the first pair, and the same pattern you have to apply it in the second pair. So in this way, you have to follow the problems of analogy. So now let's check out the other type. All right. So friends, as we saw in our last example, that vertical inversion was used. So I have correlated that with water reflection. So um, in the similar way, now we are going to see two features which are most commonly used in various questions, where we will see some horizontal flip, vertical flip, or water reflections or mirror images. So these are the most common ones. They can give you some alphabets, some numericals. So if you are aware of how these numbers are visible, if you flip it or in some water reflection, it gets easier for you to analyze it and to solve these questions. So let's see like how alphabets and numericals are visible here. All right. So friends, this is the list of mirror images of capital alphabets and small alphabets. So here, if you can see, for each alphabet, its mirror image is given. Okay, so here it is not expected that you should by heart each and every figure. So what happens, what is the mirror image of capital alphabets or small alphabets, but you can go through all these things, and then you can make yourself familiar. So how, if I give you some new object, how it will look in mirror. Mirror images especially will be easier, because you might be seeing yourself or some object in mirror, and then you can correlate it whatever question is given to you by the examiner, and then that same logic, you can apply it in the mirror images. So in this context, let's check out how the examples, how examiner can frame the question in this respect. Okay, so now, so here comes an example. So this is a combination of alphabets and numericals, and here actually we, if I draw some mirror here, we have to imagine so how this will look like in mirror. So this is quite easier here. So if you know that there is an equal distance, so it is expected that first 2 should come up and then 1, then Q. So you can eliminate other options here because it cannot be possible that it starts with A, okay, or with S or with 1. So it is option 2 which is correct, where we see that there are mirror images for 2, for 1, for Q. Okay, so you have to identify how objects look in mirror, and the same way, in the same way, you have to apply it to like whatever is given to you. So numericals or alphabets, and then you have to follow the rule that uh, mirror mirror has the figures in equal distance. So that same thing will be followed here. All right. So now let's move forward in our next slide. So to identify water images are another category of features like which are most commonly used. So here I have listed down few water images of small alphabets and capital alphabets. So here, if you draw this boundary here, so A will look something like this, B will look similar to P. So in similar way, as I told you earlier, you don't have to mug up all these things, but you should have an understanding. So how the object looks when it is being viewed as a reflection. All right. So I'll also show you in the next slide where how numericals are visible, like what is the reflection which comes up in the water if you keep numericals. So with this into consideration, let's check out how are the questions framed here. Okay, so now they have given you one word here, nuclear, and they are expecting the water reflection. So how it looks in water if you keep nuclear. So I am drawing one boundary here similar to one which we saw in our previous slides, and then you have to imagine how n will, you can break it down to each letter. So how n will look like in water, u will look like in water, c, and in similar way for rest of the letters. So if you have observed this, if you see reflection of n, n's reflection should come up. So it is not possible that first one can be correct. Okay, so first one is eliminated. So now we know that n's reflection should be n. Its order will not be changing. Okay, so now if you can see n seems to be correct everywhere. Okay, then you have to come to second letter u. So u, if you have observed in our like previous slide, so it should be something like this, not like this. So u cannot be as it is here, instead it should be inverted. So even this gets wrong. Then now we are only left with 2 and option 4. So after that, actually C's reflection will be as it is in the water. So this is similar. So now L comes up. So here is the differentiating part. So if we can figure out how L looks in water, then we will get our answer. Okay. So now if you have seen in our previous slide, so L should be something like this. It cannot be like this. Okay, so this is our answer here. 4 is the correct option. So in this way you can eliminate, you can observe each and every letter, and then you will get your answer. Alright, so now let's proceed. So now after seeing these many examples and different types, we are going to end our session with counting of figures. So this is one of the types. So this is also frequently asked, where uh, they'll give you one figure. So examiner gives you one figure and then they'll tell you to figure out in this example, like they are asking us number of triangles. So if this big square is given with these many lines, so you have to identify how many triangles comes up here. So in this case, you have to break it down to smaller parts, then only it gets easier. Otherwise, it will be very complicated for you to count each and every figure here. All right. So now let's check what should be our approach, how these kinds of questions should be solved. So yeah, so the first thing for your simplicity which you should do is name each and every vertex so that you can name it and then it will be easier for you to write it down. All right. So in this case, they have named it as A, B, C, D, and then E, F, G, H. Okay, so each and every vertex they are naming it. So whenever some new shape will be constructed, so they can take 3 points and they can understand. Okay, so yeah, so now in the next slide, we we will try to figure out all possible shapes which can be constructed. So we will take one component and that same component how it is repeating in that same figure, we will check it out. So let me take you to the next slide so that we can understand what it actually means. Okay, so taking one component and then counting means that here they have taken into consideration A, E, M. Okay, so these small triangles. So in this side, we see that three triangles are possible. So A, E, M, E, F, N, FBO. Okay, in similar way, so 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So for each side there are 3. So 3 into 4, 12. So we observe that 12 triangles are possible here. Okay, taking into consideration this small component. Okay, so now let's proceed to like we should see this image in some other angle. Okay, this is the same image but we have to observe in some other respect. So yeah, now they have taken a slightly big triangle. So AEL, KDJ, ICH and GBF. So these four triangles are considered and then our count gets increased to +4. Okay, so now when we come to this third figure, this is also our same figure but then now we are observing that this also constructs to a big triangle. So 1 2, which is BSC, CSD and DSL, ASP, which we have seen. So this gives us more four triangles. Okay, so now coming to this figure here. So here if you can observe AFP, EPQ. So these like if you take this side, two triangles are getting constructed here. So similar to this here, if you see DUI and JVC. So these two triangles are getting constructed. Actually, I have given some other color here, so not to get confused with these triangles, but BQH and GVC. Similar way APK and LUD. So these are overlapping ones, but these are also triangles. So we have to consider this. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. So we get 8 triangles here. So there are more triangles to be constructed. So if we come to next slide, if you observe more carefully, even this will give us the triangles. Okay. So EBH, GCJ, IDL and KAF. So here we get more four triangles. Okay, and then these are the last one where if we divide this whole square diagonally, we get the triangles as ABC and CDA. Okay, similar way, opposite one. So ABD, DCB. So here 2 plus 2 triangles. So let's recap everything and see what is the total. So this was the first one which we have seen 12 triangles. Here we have seen 4 triangles. Here we have seen with different colors as 8 triangles. Okay, then we have seen 4 triangles, so big 4. So 1, 2, this 3, and this 4 one. Okay, so this is 4, and then again we have seen 4 but in some different aspect. Okay, so we this is highlighted here with 2 blue colors plus 2 red colors, so again 4 plus 4, and then diagonally we have divided the square, so 2 halves here, so 1 2 and 3 4. This gives us the total as 36. So in this way, if you simplify it, so labeling these vertex has made our task easier to identify various diagrams. Okay, so we what we have done here is we have taken one figure and then we have divided into 12 parts. So then again we have taken that figure and we have looked this into some different aspects. So rather than getting confused and marking everything at once, you can sort it out, you can segregate it here, and then you can proceed. All right, so to recap, we have seen the introduction of nonverbal series, and then we have seen different types. We have seen its explanation, and then also we have figured it out what should be our solution approach to solve these different types. All right, I hope you liked this session and it was helpful to you. Thank you for attending. Please do check the description below for extra questions and lecture notes for each chapter. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.